Panels. Many of our young generations can't get any type of education and they can't even read due to the financial problem, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's characterize some keywords here, yes. The first of all is young generation. Young generation here is the kid until the teenagers, from the age of kindergarten to the age of university student, which at this age and it's this step, they really need education. And second of all, financial problem. Financial problem is when they have a problem or inhibitions to reach any type of education because of their economic condition or not enough money to take any type of education. And thirdly and lastly, education here is separated by two, ladies and gentlemen, formal and informal education. Formal is like school and university, and non-formal is like the non-scholastic courses like Genesis operation and so on so far. But in this debate, I will focusing on the formal education. Now, in our condition right now panels, as the status quo, these scholarships are given not only to the student with the financial problems, and this is become so problematic, ladies and gentlemen. Why this is become so problematic? First of all, the students with financial problem can get any education at all, and they can even reach, as I mentioned before. And why they can get education, ladies and gentlemen? Because to fulfill their daily needs already be hard things for them, and you can imagine how can they afford for school if they can afford for their daily needs, ladies and gentlemen. And next one is the scholarships. The scholarship is given to a wrong target, ladies and gentlemen. For example, rich people take the scholarship too, and although they can pay their education without taking the scholarship itself. And thirdly and lastly, the people with financial problem almost have 0% to fix their economic conditions. Why? Because they got no education. Get no education makes them hard to find a job, which means they can get no money to fix their economic condition, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this motion appears, ladies and gentlemen. Now, our stand is very clear. We will stand up to propose this motion and believes that scholarships should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity. And alongside with our stance, we have a big goal, ladies and gentlemen. We want to get a better human resources in the future for our country. In this debate, I will prove you two things, panels. The first one is why you believe that scholarship should only be granted on the basis of financial necessity, and secondly, how by giving the scholarship only on the basis of financial necessity can give us a better human resources. But before going deeper, I will give you a disclaimer, panels, that we don't forbid the people with no financial problem to get education. We just want to give a chance to the people who can take any education because of their financial problem, ladies and gentlemen. And next, in this debate, I will come up with two main arguments. My first argument is we can get a better human resources, and second argument is we can reduce the number of poverty, ladies and gentlemen. Now, jumping to my first arguments, we can get a better human resources. First, let's see the principal parameters of a good human resources itself, ladies and gentlemen. A good human resources is they who have a great critical thinking. Secondly, they are literate, ladies and gentlemen, love to read many books, and they are cross-checking many info before they trusting the information that they get. They will read more about the info, so they make sure that the information is valid, ladies and gentlemen. Thirdly and lastly, they understand and used to the technology. They know how to use the technology, they know how the function of the technology, and know how to utilize the technology wisely, ladies and gentlemen. Next, how by giving the scholarship to only those who have financial problem can give us better human resources. First, we can get more educated people, ladies and gentlemen, because this pastime, the people who get problem with the financial problem, they can get any type of education, and the number is not few, ladies and gentlemen. By giving them the education, we can give them more knowledge and more information, which makes them understand the technology. And when we get more people to understand the technology, we can get more good human resources, which is understanding the technology is one of the requirements to be good human resources. Nextly, to those who got the financial problems are very rarely to read books, and they can even read, ladies and gentlemen. And by giving them the scholarships, they can read more books, we can teaching them how to read, and they can be literate, ladies and gentlemen. They can read many books, and by reading this many books, they can practice their critical thinking, which is another requirement to be the good human resources, ladies and gentlemen. Next, why this is so important, ladies and gentlemen? Because we need a good human resources to strengthen our country. A good human resources can help us to build our country, and we can improve our education level, ladies and gentlemen. More people will get educated. They will become national assets for us, and they can be the future of our country. A good human resources with critical thinking will have solutions to many problems in our country in the future, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we can see the likelihood and under our set of the house, ladies and gentlemen, seeing about our best case scenario by giving them the scholarships, especially to those who got financial problems. We can give them education and make our society smarter, ladies and gentlemen. By making our society smarter, we can get a better human resources. And getting better human resources means we can build and strengthen our country, which is very beneficial for us, ladies and gentlemen. Even if we can get a better human resources, that's not the problem anyway, because most of the society already get an education. At least they can think wiser and get more intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. Comparatively, in the other side of the house, which they not only give the scholarships to those who get financial problems, they may be got a better human resources too. But that's not good anyway, because many of their people still lack in education, especially those who get financial problems with education, ladies and gentlemen. Even worse, if they don't have a better human resources, those people with financial problems will getting more in numbers since they can repair their education level, repair their economic condition, and they can stand after their country, ladies and gentlemen. And moving to my second argument, reducing the number of poverty. And first of all, how we can say we are successfully reduce the number of poverty. We can successfully reduce the number of poverty when most of people can fulfill their basic needs with less struggling, ladies and gentlemen, and they are not starving. They have a good place to stay and they can get a good health care. And how it can be achieved, ladies and gentlemen, by getting more money and getting more education, ladies and gentlemen. And next, how by giving the scholarships only based on financial necessity can reduce the number of poverty. We can reduce the number of poverty because of those who have problem with their financial problems are usually the one who stuck in poverty itself, ladies and gentlemen. By giving them the scholarship, we can give them education. By giving them the education, we give them more knowledge and intelligence, and they can get into the universities, which means they can get a degree after graduated. Getting a degree means that they get a better job, ladies and gentlemen. Getting a better job means they can get more money, which means that they can give a better place for their family and fulfill their family needs at all, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, why this is important to reduce number of poverty? As our main goal to get a better human resources, we need a good environment and a good neighborhood to build the character of the good human resources itself, ladies and gentlemen. Usually, the environment with poverty around is surrounded by bad habits and activities, for example, like criminalities, less hygiene, and laziness, and so on and so forth. Criminalities, we can take an example like stealing and pickpocketing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, seeing the likelihood under our side of the house, ladies and gentlemen, the best case scenario that might happen in our side is when we give them the scholarships, is those one with financial problem, we can give them education. Give them an education, we can get them a better job, ladies and gentlemen. By getting the better job, they can get more money and they can fulfill their rent and providing a better place for the family, which means we can reduce number of poverty and we can even reduce the number of criminalities, ladies and gentlemen. Even if later we can reduce the number of poverty, that's okay anyway, because we already reduced the number of unemployment since they are getting jobs after they graduated, ladies and gentlemen. And reducing the number of poverty is not a very fast things to do because it takes time too, ladies and gentlemen. Comparatively, in the other side of the house, ladies and gentlemen, they may be reduce the number of poverty, but that's not good anyway, ladies and gentlemen, because they can't provide a good education for their people. What is the matter of a low poverty in the society if the society itself got no good education, ladies and gentlemen? Even worse panels, when they can reduce the number of poverty, they will get the double problem, their education problem and their poverty itself problem, ladies and gentlemen, which means it is way better in our side of the house. And with this, I close my speech, proudly propose this motion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.